No.
Jurors want to stand for a second. Go ahead, too.
All right, so the defendant is trying to what they call impeach this witness. Fairly, I don't want to say sophisticated, but he's not doing a terrible job here. I guess he's saying that what she told police was different, that apparently she didn't tell police about the threat. So he wanted to bring that out to the court, I guess to mess with her credibility. But anyway, let me bring in my guest. Here with me, celebrity divorce attorney Carlos Lastra and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor David Bruno. And Carlos, I'll start with you. As I said, I mean, this is not a sophisticated thing, but he's not doing a terrible job. He's essentially trying to impeach what she's saying on the stand with statements that she gave to the police.
Absolutely. And again, echoing what I said earlier, he is obviously proving that he's competent. Certainly what he's proven today, although he's done it a little clumsily, is that he's prepared. He actually knows his case. He may not necessarily know how to execute, but he understands what the topics are for purposes of cross-examination, and he's getting into them. And quite surprisingly, given the stark difference from what you saw in the way he was dealing with the judge earlier today.
David, you know, he's basically trying to impeach her, and that goes to credibility, to what he's saying. But he also seemed like part of his question was the identification aspect. I don't think identification is a major issue here, but do you think what do you think about what he's trying to do here?
Yeah, I agree. You know, as a layperson, you may think that any little inconsistency may be relevant. And when you're dealing with a case like this, where every single piece is on video with his car, and it's not an issue, right? So if you're an experienced attorney, you know where the fights are and where to go on cross-examination. And that's not just one of them. And then on the execution of this, he's in a different room. And any lawyer that is in that room would be able to mark that statement for identification and say, look, you gave the statement. Now you said something right here, and you're saying that it's in there. Well, let me show it to you. And then come up and give her an opportunity. Look at it. It's not there. Show me where it is. And he just can't execute it. In part, he doesn't know how to. He's also in another room, and it takes away from the thunder. And it's just another reason why you need lawyers here, not representing yourself.
Yeah, and Carlos, you know, that basically the judge made clear on the record why she's doing what she's doing, why he's in the other room. He was given multiple opportunities to say that he would conduct himself appropriately to the decorum of the court. He refused to say that, so that's why he's in the other room. But there were a number of things here which, when you talk about justice, a lot of what you're talking about is the appearance of justice as well. People are watching this trial. This is being aired. I'm sure that community is tuned in. And you got a guy who's dealing with a jury who basically was chosen by a tumbler. You got a guy he's not in street clothes. He's shackled at the feet. They can't necessarily see that. He's in another room. He only really had a few days to prepare, so any preparation at all, I think he should be commended for. Do you have an issue with the appearance of propriety in this case, or the appearance of justice?
Not so far, only because the judge, frankly, think about this. It took her 7 hours to get to opening statements. She did backflips and somersaults to give this defendant every single opportunity to make sure that he was heard. She gave him multiple opportunities to participate in the proceedings in a suit. And frankly, I think that was a critical mistake. When I first saw him in the suit, I said, wow, he cleaned up great. This is gonna be, he does not look like the guy who did this heinous act. So that was terrific, but he gave up that advantage. It was form over substance. And frankly, I think undermined himself. He's his own worst enemy, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we know, he has a fool for a client, right? He's his own client. He's definitely a fool. And I agree with you 100%. And I think it's all part of his mishmash ideas in his head about what he wants to accomplish here. I think by leaving the prison garb on, he thinks he's creating issues that he can do on appeal, or creating issues to make things more difficult. But at the end of the day, he's just hurting himself. Like you said, he's his own worst enemy. All right, guys, stand by. We do have to take a quick break.